him, felt that love, and everyone talks about him in a way that is just, there are no words. He was very devoted, as Uncle Manu said, to his siblings, but he was an extraordinary father, and grandfather, and husband, and
You love ketchup.
he loved to sing. He loved to sing. Abiel's gonna do a concert
Right.
in his honor. He loved to sing and he loved to laugh. And at his shloshim, we had a really, really incredible rabbi that spoke. And the one thing he said, which really, really, it just sort of like stuck with all of us that was there, that were there. It's Rabbi Shapiro. Was it Mordechai Shapiro?
Mordechai Shapiro is the singer.
Okay, it was Rabbi Shapiro, very, very wonderful rabbi. And he was a very dear friend. And he knew him for so long. And he said, the message he gave over and over again, I kept on repeating it, is if you want to live your life, model Julius Sand, who would have been mayor, model your life after him. And he kept on giving examples of how he lived his life. And he said, I cannot express to you what you need to do. Just do what he did, follow in ways of Torah, in ways of chesed, in chesed that you know, chesed that you don't know, the way he treated people, the way he treated his family, just be like him and you will live a very, very good life if you choose to do so. So based on that message that he gave, we all know firsthand how he lived his life. And that's why he's missed so terribly by all of us every day, not on his side only, because every day he's missed and we feel his absence always. I'm so grateful that our children are here, some of them. We're missing Daniel and Jana, but Eliza arrived today and with Elke, not today, on Friday. And Jacob and Danielle arrived with Isla, Alex, Henry, and Olivia's here, and Aiden,
Olivia.
Julian, and we're so grateful. Katie is here from school in Tel Aviv. And my beloved, sweet husband who treated my father like his own father because he was treated like a son. He's always been the most supportive, incredible, giving son-in-law. He treated my parents like they were his parents and opened our home 24/7, 365 days a year to my parents, built a room in our house for them. That is the way he treated them. And that is the way our children were taught how to treat their parents and grandparents. And the truth is that our children and our grandchildren have the split to have their grandparents living in their house for weeks and months at a time. How lucky were they? And what an unusual thing to be able to say that your grandparents lived with you. So, you know, we had so many blessings that we are so grateful for in our lives, but my siblings, Shelly and David, Karen and Michael, Brian and Karen, Tiva and Lior, we all feel every day the absence of our father and our mother. And we are so tightly connected to each other. We rely on each other. We do for each other. We help each other. And we know that the lessons that Yehuda Ben Meir taught us and that our parents taught us are lessons that we will give our children and our grandchildren that hopefully for many generations will live on and teach each other how to really be the best people we could be. So on the yarzahit today, thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for always being so devoted and kind and loving. And we love you all. And to Ruthie, and to Sheila, to Salim, and to Estrella, to Menu. We really, I can't say everybody's name here, but you know, I know each one of you has a special place in your heart for my father. And I feel it. I know it. I feel it. And it's really special. So thank you all for being here today. And we should continue to honor his memory and celebrate smachot with each other. And we should celebrate just good things, please God. You want to speak?
Then give it to Uncle Phil if he wants to see.
Second. Everyone will get.
Okay. Thank you, Tammy. I want to say something on behalf of the, I would call it the strangers that came out of the family.
Outlaws.
Yeah, they came in, yes. Because you know, the sands, the dolphins, you used to be together all the time together. The country house. Was an orphan from Givatayim. I said to my dad before he passed away, I have this girl, her name is Malka. I lost my mother, I want to get married. So he came to Manuel and Sterella for Shabbos. And I said to him in the end of the Shabbos, what do you say? He says, wait for Hamelin. I said, I can't. So Hamelin got the check. Anyway, so I said, I have to check the family. So I was able to release me from the army, and we fly into Montreal, and I came in. So from the airport, we had like 4 meals. We stopped by the Orange Julep. We stopped by the White, they have a few hot dogs. And then they took me to Uncle Izzy, a textile. I come in, there was 2 old people, Uncle Izzy, his partner. He says, this is Malka's boyfriend. Give her Mr. Brief underwear that he shouldn't give him pressure downstairs. Because it's Malka. And they gave me 12 pairs of Mr. Brief underwear, and they gave me socks from nylon that you take it off, you have the shape of your foot. Okay. Then I came to Bobby and Zaidi, to Bobby Sand and Zaidi Meyer, and he had a brown big American car. And then I made the first mistake in this family. Bobby says, I need tomatoes and cucumbers. I said, I was in the army. I took the car. I went. I bought 20 tomatoes, 20 cucumbers. I come. I'm a happy camper. Bobby looks at me. Since then, for 2 weeks, she says, I'm going to send only you to do shopping for me. Only you, because you know how to shop. I asked for 1 tomato, you bought 20. What a waste. For 2 years, 2 weeks, I heard the same sentence. Then I found myself, because I have to get to work, I'll make it short. I came back, I says, Daddy, it's a nice family. They know how to eat. I will not starve. I will have what to eat. Everything's okay. Then I get married to Malcolm, and we going to Miami for Florida for Pesach. Yeah. I come to the airport. There's a big truck. David is there, waiting for us. We're putting all the trucks there, coming in. Come to the Sovereign Hotel. Uncle Julius comes out. First of all, I couldn't see him. He had like 4,000 keys on him. And it was making noise. Keys. For each one safe. For the rooms. Anyway, what is the first thing that he showed me, Uncle Julius? I will never forget this. In the lobby, in the middle, he opened a carton. It was a big freezer with food, with hot dogs. Remember this freezer? In the lobby. Yes. And then he says, let's make barbecue for Malcolm and Daddy. On the pool outside, Izzy Farber is there. And Uncle Julius, I said to Izzy Farber, I was young. I said, Uncle Izzy, I was in the army. I bet with you I can eat more hot dogs than you. He says to me like this, David, since you're a new member in the family, and I want to be nice to Malcolm, the first 50, I'll eat with the bonds and you without. Okay. And then Tibana tells me, Julius, they're going to finish all the food here. What are you doing? He says, I want to give him to eat. He gives the food so much with cheshik. So Julius, the achnasa sorchim, they had to do me. I'm just coming into the family. Then I became a singer. He gave me my first concert in Miami for Pesach. I will never forget this concert because I had so many people there. Only one. Only him. He forgot to sell the tickets. But he enjoyed my jokes. He was laughing like 2,000 people. So, Julius, I want to end up with the story. Zaidi Meyer, which I also honored to know him and to see his leadership. He loved Menachem Begin. And he used to go with his picture everywhere. And there's a famous story about Menachem Begin. That he was in a yeshiva university dinner. He was the guest speaker. And the guest of honor came to him and they introduced him. He just gave a check, $1 million to Yeshiva University. He's the prime minister. So he told Menachem Begin, you know who was my grandfather? Rabbi this and this. So Menachem Begin answered him, don't show me who's your grandfather. Show me who's your grandson. What do you live here for the Jewish people? And I didn't think that Meir's son, Zaidi Meyer, and his son, Uncle Julius, and all his siblings, that they are upstairs, met Menachem Begin, he wouldn't ask him, show me who's your grandchildren. We see this blessing of his family from generation to generation. The Eloi Nishmas, Rabbi Yehuda ben Meir, which I loved, and he was always nice to me.
Nancy, would you like to say a word?
One song.
One song.
Okay, so
One song. Wait, let me open
We
it.
are
Oh, why is it on me?
I just want to say that when I spoke of our aunts and uncles present, I failed to mention Auntie Malka, Uncle Louis, who are not here, who we dearly miss and wish you were here. And we'd love to spend time with you when we're in Florida. We hope to see you soon. Wish everybody a Hakasher B'Sameach. Have a beautiful, beautiful Chag.
Give this to Uncle Salim and Auntie Ruthie. You want to start, Auntie Ruthie?
Yeah, it's just a short.
It's short and
Where's
sweet.
Tammy? Oh, okay.
Good talk, and everyone sees you on
Yeah,
Zoom.
well, I after the store, after listening, oh. You see, I haven't been teaching for 7-8 years. I'm not used to it. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. The apple doesn't fall very far from the tree. I'll just tell you a little something that happened 2 weeks ago with Tammy and David. They gave me a lift back from the cemetery. And I asked Tammy with their driver, and I asked Tammy, I said, do you mind if I stop off? It was Erev Shabbos, and I needed some chicken soup because I didn't have enough. I was having some company, so I needed to buy a container of chicken soup to add to what I had. And I also needed challah. And Izzy was sleeping in my house that Shabbos, and I needed a few things for him. So I mentioned it to her. I said, do you think you would mind if you stopped the car and I just went out and got these things? She says, Auntie Ruthie, I just made a fresh chicken soup. I'll give you chicken soup. I said, oh, that sounds good. That's great. Then she said, I made challah too. I'll give you challah. And then she stopped. She gave me the chicken soup. She gave me the challah. And then she said, the driver's going to take you to wherever you need to go. It was so wonderful. I went in and I got things at this store, came out, the driver was waiting for me, and then I went into the next store. It was wonderful. And to top it all off, it was delicious. So it doesn't fall very far from the tree. Tammy's kindness and caring is just like her father. And I just thought I would share that. There's a lot of stories with Julius. I could tell you that I wasn't that much, our age difference wasn't great, but all my friends wanted to go out with Julius. They all wanted, he was so handsome. Did you know Tony Curtis? Yeah. Okay, well,
He looks like him.
He looked like Tony Curtis. And everybody wanted to go out with him. They did.
Who was Tony?
Bunny was the lucky one. Bunny was the lucky one. So, no, but he was very special, and I was very fortunate to live in Florida, and especially in the last few years where they had to go to Fort Lauderdale for a doctor, so they passed Hollywood. And I, of course, was alone. They never did it without calling me in advance and telling me, we're coming back, we're going out for dinner, you're coming with us. And I used to meet them, and we used to have dinner together, and I do miss him.
Like everybody else, he went to vacation for Hanukkah time to the Sovereign, to the famous Sovereign Hotel. And there I got a piece of memory, a little souvenir that honestly, I don't think I will forget it for the rest of my life. Try to imagine this. Bobby is sitting at the door of her room at the end of the hall. Julius is at his desk. He looks to the left. He sees his mother. He walks, and it's a long sled. He walks all along until he gets to her, and he bends and he gives her a kiss. Bobby Sand got a jolt. That's the only way I could mention it. She got a jolt, obviously of happiness, not that she got absolutely a jolt of happiness, and she was looking like who was watching her son coming purposely to kiss her in front of everybody. I don't think I would forget it for the rest of my life. That was absolutely beautiful. That's it. Short and sweet.
Okay, who else wants to speak now? David, would you like to say a few words? I mean, you've been speaking for the last 5. Oh, Josh. Wow. Give this to David, he'll speak after you. Take this one. Josh.
Okay, I happen to be privileged in the crowd that did get to know Uncle Julius, and what a special uncle. I'm talking now from the nephews and nieces. Besides all of the things that you mentioned that he's busy with the hotel and with the kids, he also took care of the Hebrew Academy. And some of the keys that were jingling were for many of the doors in the academy. And he was there for the minions and in the lunchroom. Because I was his nephew, he would always come and say hello to me. It was the most incredible thing. I remember from kindergarten, like literally kindergarten, walking outside, Uncle Julius was there, giving me a big hug and kiss, few coins or whatever to buy something in the gift shop. And it was the most incredible. It was the tip of the iceberg, but the love that Uncle Julius had for all of us was just off the scale. And truly miss him. I'm sure everybody else does. And it's just unfortunate the ones that didn't get to meet him. You're hearing these stories, but to be with him in real life was just an incredible thing. And he's greatly missed. Greatly missed.
Keep the mic.
So when I was privileged to be in Shul on Shabbos and listening to the naming of our new granddaughter, Italian Sam wouldn't tell us, they would not tell us who they were naming the baby after. And knowing them, because they do things their own way and they're very eclectic, I just assumed that it would be a name that would be, some new modern Israeli name. Anyway, we heard, or I heard, Tammy was home with Talia, I heard them mention the name of my mother, so I was just floored because of what a wonderful person she was. What does that have to do with tonight? So when I spoke in the shul, and I spoke a little bit about my mother, and I said, you know what? It's an incredible thing that you can't underestimate the impact that parents have on children. You know, if parents do a good job with their kids, it really puts them on a glide path to a good life, a happy life, successful life. When parents don't do a good job, even when their kids are 70, 80 years old, they're still in therapy trying to figure out, what happened to them. And so, when you're a parent, you don't always realize that, but you see over time how important it is. And so, when I think of the influences in my life, I had two primary influences. I had my father and I had my father-in-law. Now, my father, of course, I knew longer. And there, the primary influence was the fact that he thought my brother was much smarter than me. And I spent most of my life trying to convince him that he was wrong. And so, as my brother would, achieve various things in life, and I would, just try to move a step further, and only for one reason, just my father would agree that I was just as competent as my brother, if not more so. When it came to my father-in-law, I was taking away his beloved daughter, I took away the first child. What? First child to get married. Yeah, I mean, you were the first one to get married. And he had such love for Tammy. He had such love for all of his children, but he had such love for Tammy. And I don't think he thought I was good enough for her at the beginning. I think he thought that nobody was good enough for her. And, I think he...
No, I think you're wrong.
Yeah. That was later. I think that was later.
Hey, Sheila, don't change his feelings. This is how he felt. That's how he felt. Wasn't good enough.
I know.
Okay, but he felt different.
Okay. I didn't get that originally. I thought that he was look, it wasn't that, it had nothing, I didn't take it personally, nothing to do with me. It had to do with how much he loved Tammy and how much he wanted all his children to have nothing but the best. This was the first time anybody was coming into the house and taking away one of his kids, or at least, marrying one of his kids and moving her out of the house. And so I spent, the next 35 years or so, whatever the number is, trying to convince him that I was good enough to be married to his beloved Tammy. And I hope I got there. I think we sort of made progress towards the end, but I'm still not sure we got there all the way. It's the greatest disappointment in my life that I didn't have my father or my father-in-law with me as I went on this journey to be the chagrier. Yes. And both of them have just in different ways have had tremendous influence over me, of course, over Tammy and our whole family. And I want to thank everybody for doing this, because it's not something that happens that often, that people get together on a busy week to. No, we did pay for the food, so it's not like it's completely. But
I thought it was from the embassy.
They'll find me in charge of it. So, but it's very special. I don't think it happens in too many families that people get together, not just for a father like Tammy's case, but for an uncle or for a sibling. And the fact that everybody came here on short notice and when they have so many other things to do is something that I think is amazingly impressive and a great tribute to as Manu said, a great tribute to a beautiful family. So thank you so much.
Steve.
I think that was time for a little break, or you'd like to
No,
say?
but
It's very short.
Paul is gonna speak now. Paul's gotta have it on recorded here.
I want you to video it. Where are you going, Bill?
Paul can sit down.
אני לא רוצה.
לא רוצה, לא צריך.
אני לא רוצה. הנה, אבישג.
Oh my gosh, that takes
I feel very honored and I feel very blessed to host this yard site in my house. It's not the first yard, it's the second yard site that I'm hosting in my house. It's the second one. And I wanna express two messages which I think gave a very big impact on me. And I hope that Shelley and David, Karen and Michael, Brian, Karen, Tiva, and Lior, that you're all listening to the message, which I think is a very important message to me. You know, one of the things in the Torah that we all know is the expression of sibling rivalry.
rivalry.
Rivalry, what does it mean?
Rivalry.
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 Now you got it.
Rivalry. I don't have to tell you, in the Torah, we see a lot of siblings with a lot of problems. The first two brothers, one killed each other. Cain and Hevel. Bad example. Then we have the story of Yaakov and Esau. Bad example. He stole the bracha. They were fighting, wanting to kill each other. Then we had the 12 tribes. Uh-oh, they sold Joseph. They wanted to kill him. They were all jealous of him. So we understand that this is a very difficult path to copy. And I want to speak now about the relationship of the two brothers, my father and Uncle Julius, alav hashalom. Because they ended up buying an apartment in Petach Tikva and they lived upstairs. Wherever my father went, Uncle Julius went, like twins. Whatever my father did, Uncle Julius did. But it was done in a way that they wanted to be with each other, that they loved each other, that they cared about each other. And this love went to me, to all my children, to all my grandchildren, everybody. When they used to come here, they would feel part of, to the level when Sippy gave birth to one of her babies and Auntie Bunny and Uncle Julius came in the house. Uncle Julius held the baby. He looked at Sippy. He said, Sippy, we're taking the baby tonight. She's going to sleep with us upstairs. That's the amount of love and care. And I remember Uncle Julius and Dobush shared their same birthday. And when Dobush was in camp, Uncle Julius and Auntie Bunny made sure to celebrate their birthday together. Sometimes it's little behaviors that create a very, very big person. When I used to come to New York and Uncle Julius was there, Malka, let me pack the car for you. I know how to arrange the luggage. I'll drive you here. I'll take you there. I think really the loss and the love and the caring that he taught me. And I think of him many, many times, and I pray and I wish that my children will copy his footsteps in loving each other. I know that Kanena Horda, his children, and I asked Tammy, I don't see you guys in America, but I'm always getting updated how you care about each other, how you're in touch, that you have a group. And I think that there's no other way to honor parents is to show the father and mother that the children get along. It's the hardest thing. It's the most challenging thing. But I think that there's no other way to remember and to respect parents. So I want to, at this very special moment, and we spoke about Babi and Zadie Sand, alav hashalom, that those were our grandparents. And I'm sure that when they see everyone together, whoever's present, whoever's on Zoom, and the love and the kindness and the little stories that everybody has a story from Uncle Julius, a story that's in their